supposed to end. You're in my seat.
I don't get it either.
Where's my program? Where are the bathrooms?
How long? Is
when you're planted, pushed down into something deep, yeah. You just want to push up. You just want to push up. It's like howling, a cry. Gravity pulling, but yeah, I resist. You resist. Time resists, but we wind back. Let it forward. But yeah. It's stronger than we think. It's stronger than we think. It's like howling, a cry. Can you feel me? We're breaking like glass. Never coming back together. We'll break like glass. I can reach as far as I can reach. I can reach. You seem silent in your ways, you know? Sometimes I wonder why. Folded line, like a weed, continuous, every week. Time behind us, but we wind back. A little forward. But yet, savor this moment as long as it lasts. Let me tell you, put it tongues all over me. But I think I know what I do. Just put everything out there, just put change, just put everything out. And then
I grew up believing that water should be the color of corpses. That air should taste like a gumbo of gunpowder and weak old garbage cans. That children should have mouths like landfills and learn to speak hatred before they ever know what it means to love language across this country. On the wrong side of the poverty line, where the bodies are too dark for television cameras. Environmental racism is little more than yet another set of unfamiliar syllables rich people use to describe the way it's always been for us. See, the sun made us ultraviolet, but the hood made us ultraviolent. In a place where neighborhood residents become nuclear reactors, who transform street corners into Chernobyl disasters based on each other's actions, we are dying to explode into one another. Hazardous material has transformed Harlem into Hiroshima. There are pregnant mothers with mushroom clouds inside their wombs glowing like a shard of uranium the second before the atom splits. And I'm scared to raise my children in a neighborhood where people look like them. Toxic wastelands where dirty water leads to infected minds. So we throw up gang signs just to purge our insides, release heat to breathe easy, and learn to live and never know the difference between what we were owed and what we learned to live with. And you would figure that after Birmingham and Tulsa, we would be used to burning by now. So we sit, brown bodies blackened to a crisp, on the back blocks of blacktop jungles where crack is king, and dreams crumble like glaciers, melting half a world away that these children will never see or read about during summer school, where unair-conditioned classrooms grow too hot for knowledge to pass from lips to ears. Truth melts in the air slow and thick, like the weed smoke we inhale just to forget what it feels like to always live life in extremes. Those moments where global warming becomes more than a buzzword, more like a daily reminder that the flashy cell phones we throw away every day may soon resurrect themselves as the most ironic reminders that we just want the world to hear us. Black lungs, so accustomed to not breathing, whether from drowning in transatlantic trade borders or hanging in the space between environmental legislation and corporate interest, we become non-recyclable refuse. The blackened ashes of America's past, victims of a neglectful nation that simply cannot see that the month-old meat on grocery store shelves is the only thing around here going green. So no, my house doesn't have solar panels on the roof. My parents don't own a hybrid automobile, and I never considered myself an environmentalist until the day I realized that it is all connected. That the neighborhoods chosen to host toxic waste facilities are almost always communities of color. That there are chemicals in the water that make our little girls look grown before they're old enough to deal with the consequences. That my little brother can't run quite as fast as I could when I was his age because the smog has his fingers pressed firmly around his windpipe. And so until the day that we can exhale away this pain, you will hear my voice cascading across the sky, unmistakable as the sound of a crashing pesticide plane, begging Mother Earth to have mercy on her children.
Of snakes and trees, like Adam and Eve, from leaves to roots. My fascination with family is a taste for strange fruit. So strange. It's like a darker version of you. My story is a sojourn on the back of a snake. Crossed the seas in pursuit of the music. Settled in a space where drum and bass and blood and sweat kneel down to pray. Eden is evening by the fire with flute. My family tree, transplanted in America, bears me. Strange fruit. Come here. Come here. Come meet me. I'm a brown boy's worst and first enemy. I'm the nigger mentality. I live in a box at the center of the sun. The colonized mind, personified live, right here at USF, in front of everyone. Come here. My lineage unfolds with hate. Hate was my great-great-grand. Had several kids dispersed across several lands, and man co-opted, then made manifest parties like division and greed, murder and excess. Greed had incestuous sex with his cousin Neglect in the West. Genetic defect produced an unfortunate deformity. They had a baby named Ignorance. And Ignorance just could not see. Come here. Ignorance fell in love with Hate, who by now had turned in on herself, burned within self. It would make your heart melt. There was this heartfelt connection between self-hate and ignorance. Came thence my racist parent. I mean my parent racist. Traces of the seed originated with greed. So racist primary need was to feed a hunger for eternity. Universal props. He dropped the T, substituted with an M, said forget the racist individual, I'm gonna be racism. An institution and God complex delusions started cooling with my dad, gave him dap, told him you are all of that, and racism got fat off his own PR, said I am the star of this show, and there he go. He embedded himself in the cornerstone of all the new nations, made himself chair of the House of Appropriations. Nothing was safe. Until chaste capitalism stepped in the frame. Hey baby, what's your name? Racism spit in that game because capitalism is a looker. She flipped on him like he was a two-bit hooker. He took her, shook her up! She looked him dead in the eye, he fell steady silent. Compliant. She said, look, racism. We gonna do it like this, okay? Racism, first of all, we gonna pretend that you do not exist. Boop. Then we'll tell the whole world to serve me, a much more attractive interest. But we will shape everything so that we both benefit. She leaned over slowly, kissed him on the lips. Pop nodded his head. It has been that way ever since. Shortly thereafter, they had my brother, Slavery. A few years later, along came me. I'm glad I don't possess all these family traits. I don't hate anyone, except my carrier and his crew, but I do love my master, and I worship his truth. And I must admit, I am whipped weak by greed's fleet genes running through my core. I got mounds of self-hate behind the closet door of skeletons and secrets, wearing sins and Friedrich Nietzsche's brilliant theories. But I grow weary, drawing defenses against self-constructed attacks. I try to relax, contemplate my link to ignorance, which makes no sense, cause I got knowledge. I know Timbo. And I know Polo. I know Nike, Moschino, Nautica, Sean John, Versace, Vuitton, Dolce & Gabbana, Prada, Canal, Levi's, BK, CK, DK, and Y, and Clyde, Fubu, Guess, Rolex, Lex, Beamer's, Benz. I know them all. And I know the ends don't justify the means. I know God is rectangular and grayish green. I know this ordo seclorum don't include me. I know how to serve my dignity upon a platter. I know how to serve my master. I know how to run in place faster and smoother than panthers and cougars and coons. Oh my! I know, sir. But I don't know why the minds apply to design systems which combine and carry and bind themselves with political ties for the sole purpose of promoting their own economic advantage. I don't understand it. We share the same planet. But these walls are like granite, and I cannot escape. All this light got me twisted, consumed with the fable, written in invisible ink that my master swears is my fate. My master eliminates all fiction. I will deviate never. I'd rather beat my head against the walls of a cell, trying to remember my name forever. 3 rows of 222 bird's-eye sized holes, calling gently, subtly, suggesting in the dark might be a key which gives my name back to me, but I don't want to be in the dark. I don't want to be in the dark. I don't want to be dark. I don't want to be dark. I don't want to be. I don't even want to be the almighty nigga mentality. The world is coming to an end. But I'm going to get back to that later. My late college years, my sister refers to them as my shepherd phase. It's not because I was a leader among men, or because all the ladies would flock. It's because I looked like a shepherd. I wore a lot of mud cloth and burned hella sage and trees out of corners. This Honda CRX, I call 2000 black with a red, black, and green hatch in the back. I lived in Atlanta. Black mayor, black land. Let me tell you about Georgia red clay. Iron oxide base betrays centuries of blacktop in regress. A clear indication of the universe's fetish for finger paints. Beneath your fingers it melts, like the warmth of a woman in the heat of undress. Burnt dreams, soft yams red. Santana black magic sienna, Hendrix hallucination red. I'm a city kid. In Atlanta I learned land. Georgia red clay. Black people, deep south. A young man, I was green. So when the world was coming to an end, Y2K, 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 when the millennium was approaching, repent, 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 the earth is at its finality, I went back to Georgia with my halo. I wanted to be holding her when the planet got swallowed by time. And though the earth kept spinning and me and she didn't, sweet Georgia red clay stayed on my mind. So shocked. Last year I opened up my newspaper to find that sweet Georgia red clay gone cracked. Extreme drought, water levels so low in Atlanta that hordes of Georgians were gathered in public spaces to pray for rain. Mosques, Christian churches, churches chicken. The governor convened a prayer vigil on the steps of the Capitol, no lie. He said that the water levels and the drought were a message from God to conserve better. It's the apocalypse. Red clay. Black people. A shepherd, I'm calling out to a future gone green, responding to ice caps melting away like red clay, like maybe sweet Georgia brown gone gray without rain, calling to a dry, cracked land with a walloping of wet sound wizardry, running like a successful thief into the waiting palms of a running river's hands, beating raindrops against God's eardrum, drop genuflections to the one, let it rain, shepherd prayers that we didn't really need Obama, that somebody would have just given Bush a blowjob so we could have impeached him, because apparently everything else he did is within the vision of the Constitution, and Lord, is it the context or the content that contents you, Creator? Here, like a staff in my fist, I hold history upside down by its roots. I am the living proof of the hateful truth of hurt, the son of a Haitian massacre, a middle-class ambassador amassing a bushful of history. I put it in a vase with orange tulips till the petals fall, incandescent incantations till we free them all. In the end, the earth has its justice. What will we do when there's nothing left to eat but money and regret and the fungus and stench of a bitter future black bagging us in the night for the right to breathe clean air under rain, under God, indivisible, my country 'tis of thee I sing, cardinal red sin, collecting words like Beethoven notes, like Ellison prose, like lost sheep, like lives, like minds, like dreams, dreaming up and drowning through, moving around and moving because of you. Perhaps a Georgia red clay is blooming, blossoming in the red clay, hoping, begging, praying for a change in the weather.